And a happy Tuesday!
It's a happy Tuesday.
That was so good.
You know why? Because you're Miss Employee of the Month.
Hello,
Miss WILX Employee of the Month. Yeah.
It's an honor. What can I say?
It is an honor. It is an honor to be bringing in this Tuesday with you. How are you, Taylor?
I'm good. Get over here.
Yeah,
I love you. I love everyone here.
I love you.
But yes, that was a nice little email. That felt good. It was nice.
We love her,
we have
and so
many
someone
people
here nominated her to be Employee of the Month. No question, no doubt about it. So raise your fist and your applause for Taylor Gattoni.
Okay, but you and a lot of other people, everyone at the office deserves that because everyone works hard all the time. It's a team effort.
But it's okay. Give credit where credit is due. Okay?
Well, there you go. Next up, it's you. Okay. I'm just
Listen,
saying. I'm just saying.
my day. Okay, that's all I need. I just need a little hello.
We got a birthday coming up in a few weeks.
And I'm going to make sure everybody in the world here, everybody in Michigan knows.
And she likes the gummy worm trolley brand, not the blue bag. It's the purple or the red bag, fruit punch.
Or you could just say happy birthday to me. That also makes me cry and makes me really happy. Just a little bit of acknowledgement when they say that. That's it. That's all I ask for.
That's all you want.
But today, all I ask for is that you tune in at 3 p.m. because we're having quite a show. Specifically, we're starting with MIS NightLight. So if you've ever gone down to Brooklyn, Michigan, it is a winter wonderland over there. Like, there's no other way to put it. And every year, we meet with the two men who are behind the MIS NightLights display, and they always add new displays. They switch things around a little bit. So Nicole and I got a full tour of it. We're going to talk about the NightLights Express, which is actually fairly new because it was new last year.
Oh.
And usually when you go through Christmas light shows, you'll go in with your car. But this one really enhances the experience because you'll go through a train ride.
Ooh,
so it is cold. It is very cold. So make sure you bring a weighted blanket if you can.
Train ride?
Yes, it's a train ride that'll literally take you through the lights display.
That's fun.
Cool. So exciting. Literally, and it, like I said, every year they find a way to enhance the experience and really just create, I don't know what else to say, but create the magic of Christmas, of the holidays.
It's kind of like the Polar Express a bit.
Yes, exactly. It's the Polar Express of Brooklyn, Michigan.
I love that. So you can either take the train, the express, or you can take your car.
And it's all weatherproof too, so just in case it rains, they've got something. But please, bring a weighted blanket. Bring extra gloves. Bring the heat warmers.
Yes.
I remember last time I did it, I had to sit on my hands, and I said, Nicole, you grab the camera because I can't do it. I said, that will switch off.
It hurts. When your hands get cold.
Painful. That's what I have to say about Michigan winters. They're painful cold. It's not like, oh my God, ow. I started crying.
You feel like needles are poking your hands. If you try to touch something, it just hurts.
Yeah. A year ago, I said that was my first week of work. I started crying because it was so cold. I went on a shoot with Nicole and Sarah, and I said, guys, please, my face was burning.
It does, and sometimes people's faces turn really, really red.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't red, but it was something. You could tell it was pain.
The wind on it and all the snow pelting your face.
It was rough. But this experience is still worth it, no matter what. So we're going to take you all through that today. Plus, it's Take Me Home Tuesday, so we know we've got a little puppy, a kitty, whichever one. We'll find out at 3 o'clock that you at home can adopt. If you're looking to add another addition to your home this year, what a perfect present. What a perfect gift.
There you go. The pet gets a home, and your kids, or if you don't have kids and you just want the pet, a win-win.
That too. There you go. Win-win. And one last thing, we've got a Lansing native. Who knew? He was on Squid Games. And today, he's on Studio 10. He's going to tell us all about his experience. That's going to be a live interview. Yeah. So we're going to talk to him all about it. So a lot in store at 3 p.m. And just in
Which
case,
player? What number?
You got to see at 3.
Okay.
I can't spoil it. But, yeah, that Netflix show that we all know and love, have heard of. If you haven't seen it, it's going to be great. He's going to tell you all about it. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure after this interview, you're definitely going to want to. So, yep.
Okay. Were they in all the episodes? No? Okay, tune in at 3 o'clock, I guess. That's exciting.
You'll see all of it. And then remember, we are still doing our 10 days of Christmas giveaways as well. So again, I just want to really push that you head to WILX Studio 10 on Instagram, on Facebook, head to our YouTube page just to catch it all. And if you love it more than once, you can watch it as many times as you like.
Oh, watch it over and over and over again. That is so cool.
Yes.
All right.
But until then, our meteorologist is patiently waiting, and he'll be on the show today at 3 p.m., so you get to see all that and more. See you
Thank
later,
you, Rochelle. Love you, girlie. All right, Studio 10's coming up at 3 o'clock per usual. Make sure you tune in, and like Rochelle said, if you want to rewatch anything, if you miss it at 3 o'clock, or if you tune in late or can't watch it at 3 o'clock, you can always go back and rewatch Studio 10 at WILX Studio 10. That went out way too soon. Sorry, Justin. But you are ready. You're ready to go.
We're good. We're ready.
Awesome.
We're ready out here. Yeah.
And it's kind of feeling, maybe not anymore. It was feeling a bit like winter earlier this morning. Sure. You got the snow coming down.
Yeah, it still is. We're in the 30s. So, I mean, it's December. This is what we expect. We did have a bit of the flakes going flying around, and we also transitioned to a bit of drizzle, too. And so sort of an ugly, very light but ugly mix, I guess, if you want to call it that. But quieter for the rest of this week. It's the weekend we're kind of keeping our eyes on. A system will move in. It's a pretty powerful one. It's going to definitely bring us a lot of rain on Saturday. Okay. But at the tail end of the weekend could bring us some snow. It's still a ways out, and so, be wary if you see anything in the next day or two promoting snow totals. It's far too early to have any of that up yet, but by the time we start getting into Thursday and especially Friday, we'll have a better handle on what's going on. This does look like a system that could bring us some slushy, wet accumulations on the backside. So this is the type of snow that's very dense, very heavy, very tightly packed, and so we're going to be giving you the first alert to that and tracking it throughout the weekend. But otherwise, before that happens, we're getting a bit of a warmer trend to work in here for probably some decent days here at the end of the week.
Yes, and those warmer days, is that what's causing this whole system to kind of shake up over the weekend?
Yeah, they sort of play a big part, right? You have a large system, usually a warm front comes first, and then the cold front follows, and that's when you really get all the winds to pick up when the cold front crashes through. Well, with the warm front, it's kind of slowly filtering in, right? And so we warm up a bit on Thursday, we warm up even more Friday, and then we're still in the 50s Saturday, but the rain moves in. Otherwise, if this was like a rainless system, if there was one of those around this time of year, we'd probably be a little warmer than that too. Okay. But either way, it all kind of works together to drive our overall pattern and influence what we get around here. And so heading into the weekend, that definitely does play a big part in what we would expect on Sunday.
Okay, well, we are getting those 50s, but like Justin says, that's going to come with not so great weather happening over the weekend.
Yeah, anytime you get big clashes between temperature and pressure, tends to drive a lot of wind, tends to drive a lot of lift once that wind turns vertical, and then you get precipitation if you got moisture, which we're going to have all of those this weekend. And so kind of comes together for a nice, big, healthy storm complex for us. It does look like we're on the warm side for now, but of course, again, that can change, and we're going to be here to give you those first alert details.
All right, well, let's send it outside because, like you were saying, Saturday could be more rain, Sunday could be more snow.
Yeah.
This morning, it was a slight mixture of a little bit of both.
Yeah, both out there, but that's kind of started to fade back away, which is good news, of course. Now, we got temperatures that have been running above freezing all day. We're now at 37, and the wind is very light out there today, and so not causing any sort of wind chill at the moment. In fact, things actually feel pretty decent out there for early December. 37 is the current temperature. The clouds still hanging on in the Meridian Company Skycam network. However, you notice that this shield of precipitation is sinking to the south and east. There are still a couple of weak returns coming down in parts of Jackson County, over towards Calhoun as well. But you notice that for a lot of this, for the folks who are there right now, if you're peeking outside and you don't see anything coming down, well, that's probably just because a lot of these very light returns sometimes have difficulty reaching the ground level. And so if there's anything falling out there right now, it's all coming down as like a light mist. Maybe you see a flake or two mixed in, but really not causing any sort of travel woes out there. In fact, roads have been just wet today as we've stayed above freezing. That's good news. Instead of having to deal with any icy concerns, I don't expect that'll be a problem for us here moving forward this week with the milder air settling in once this weak system does depart. Now, the temperatures again are in the mid to few upper 30s across the area right now. Nobody at 40 degrees, but Adrian is close at 39. And you notice that the hour-by-hour temperature is going to kind of hang steady around these upper 30s for the next hour or two before we go the other way. We will eventually settle on the 20s overnight, but it doesn't look like, once again, this is going to be any big impactful problem for us. Our normal lows this time of year are mid-20s, and that's where we should end up by tomorrow morning ahead of the milder air working in. So we'll look at the hour-by-hour forecast here to show you what we expect. Again, is going to be a dry rest of the day and evening. Should be the case as well tomorrow. Now, the model tries to bring a couple of snow showers in here as we get into tomorrow afternoon. I think those are going to be tough to come by. It's likely we just stay mainly cloudy. Kind of like today, the temperatures make it back back into the upper 30s again, and a few stop in the mid-30s, but we should be dry on our Wednesday. A weak disturbance passes off to the north quickly, you see there, heading into late Wednesday night, but by Thursday morning, we should be back to dry weather, and I think we're going to lose the temperatures off the map here as we get a little too far out, but you might see them climb into the 40s right there, just briefly before they go away. We'll probably be well into the 40s Thursday, end the day with sunshine, and then we go into the much warmer weather as we head out towards the end of the week. On Friday, I've got us at 53, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a few folks go mid-50s on Friday as we get a strong south-southwesterly wind to bring some of that warmth up here. But you'll also notice that the system is right behind it. Saturday comes in as all rain. I think that'll kind of be one of those soggy, soaking, steady rain days. And so it's going to be one we probably get about a half to 3/4 of an inch of water thrown down. And then the wind really picks up Sunday during that transition. And so 42 is my current forecast high, but that's likely going to be in the morning. You notice how close it is to Saturday night's low, so that'll be early in the day. By the time we hit noon, we're probably mid-30s and feeling colder, and we're probably closer to the freezing mark or below it most of Sunday afternoon. And that'll cause that transition from rain over to snow. But once again, because you have all that warm air nearby, and just the nature of that system is it's going to be very water-laden, very water-based, and you end up getting some of that very kind of thick, if you want to use that word, like heavy, dense, wet snow. And so that normally is the type that if it's on the ground, if it's on anything, you can kind of scoop it right up, and it almost makes a snowball on its own without you even having to do anything to it.
I was going to say, for the kids going out to play, if you want to make a snow fort, a snowman, or make a snowball, it's so easy.
Sunday evening, right before dinner, a little family snowball fight maybe in order for you if that's the case on Sunday evening. I mean, make sure, obviously, you got all the winter gear on and everything, but that could be something we're looking at. And it's, again, possible that we could see some accumulation once we get into late Sunday. And so that's also something that we're going to be keeping an eye on and updating you in this first alert forecast. I have already, as is always the case, and as many of you watching may have seen, we've already been getting some folks, there's enthusiast pages, there's all sorts of other stuff throwing out, we're going to get all this snow. And anytime you see we're 6 days or more out and you see these big giant snowfall totals, I mean, come on, think about it. How often do those really come to fruition? Usually you don't get a really good hang on things until you're really close to the event, but you really can't trust any actual snowfall numbers almost ever until you're within about 2 to maybe 3 days out on the long end. And so if you do see anything between now and, say, Thursday that are showing like some solid numbers, I know I saw one model get shared that said something like 20 inches for Lansing or something like that. Just ask yourself first, how often has that ever happened? The answer is never.
Not often.
The answer is literally never here in the city of Lansing. But, I mean, once again, it's just knowing that things are going to change because it is mid-Michigan weather. That's just common around here, and so that's what we tend to see. By the time we do get to late Sunday, it is looking like it is going to be changing to snow. Exactly how much, once again, we'll fine-tune and iron out. We want to let you know sooner than later, but we also want to make sure we give you an accurate forecast and we aren't flip-flopping it on you, because if I put numbers out for Sunday right now, I'd almost bet my job that they would change. I mean, that's just the nature of how things go. I do know that on the backside of the system, we're going to have some cooler air next week. Temperatures will be running through the 30s, kind of like they have these past few days. If anything, they might, though, be a couple degrees cooler. And so let's just say in a hypothetical world that we did get a whole bunch of snow. I won't name any numbers, but let's say we get a whole bunch of snow on Sunday night. It's likely that at least some of that sticks around for a good portion of next week, with these numbers trending a little bit on the cooler side. Pretty close to normal, but it is, again, going to be mid-December. And so if we do manage to get some sort of large accumulation on Sunday evening into the overnight, it'll probably stay, and it'll look a little bit more like your typical winter, at least through parts of next week. However, there's also a chance that this kind of goes off to the north. And if that happens, we stay in the warm sector the whole time. And as the week goes on, you may see that rain icon Saturday carry over into Sunday as well. And maybe we see little or even no snow out of this system. And if that's the case, then of course it won't look very wintry next week outside on the ground, but it'll mean that we get some more rainfall to talk about too. And so we do know that we will be impacted by a large system this weekend. That's how it's looking right now. Now exactly the details and all that, and I can stop rambling on about it now, but I mean that's sort of what we're looking at, I think, as far as what we will expect once we get there. And so that's sort of what we have going on today in our first alert forecast. Once again, Mainly just hoping that we can enjoy some of these days at the end of the week, because even 47 Thursday is pretty good this time of year. So for us to get into the 50s on Friday, even if it does come with more clouds, as long as it's dry weather, that's when you'll find lots of folks out and about walking around Friday afternoon, evening, enjoying some of that. And then, of course, that weekend system moves in just in time to kind of throw a wrench maybe in any of your weekend plans or anything like that. I do think, despite the rain, travel probably not a big deal, just wet conditions on Saturday. If you are planning on maybe going out of town, coming back Sunday, stay alert and to our forecast here. In fact, use the First Alert Weather app. It's a great thing to do. Because, we could be switching things back over into snow on Sunday, and that could be an impactful system for us. You want to be in the know, and so if you happen to be coming back into town or wherever you may be going, or even if you're just hanging around here in mid-Michigan and you're planning on hitting the roads for whatever reason Sunday evening, you want to know what the roads are going to be like, especially if we're going to have transitions over into some snow in our forecast. And so that's a great way to do it. First Alert Weather app, once again, absolutely free in Google Play and the App Store. It is a great tool to have. And once again, provide you with all those different updates that you need. It's very user-friendly. We love to promote it because we use it ourselves, and we're very proud of the product we put out. So it can really help you be prepared, especially for these big winter events. This is why we do it. So hopefully you're able to get some use out of our First Alert Weather app.
Yes, and it's not just the First Alert Weather app that can help you. Of course, that's on the go. If you're heading out the door for work or a trip, the holidays are here. So if you're traveling anywhere, or if you even just want to fill up the gas, right? Fill up your gas, or even go do your holiday shopping and you want to see what it's like outside. You can get the traffic alerts and the First Alert updates for all of your temperatures. But also, Justin, the First Alert Weather team did a great job putting together a larger segment that not just goes into the temperatures, but how you can prepare for the winter.
Yeah, that's the First Alert Winter Survival Guide. This was a project that we worked on. We did last year as well, but this year we talked to a whole bunch of different experts around mid-Michigan about a variety of topics, anything from traveling on the roads to winter into power lines and restoration when you do lose power to snow or ice, and all sorts of other things as far as getting your snowblower started for the winter, a whole lot more. Just a really great guide to kind of help you prepare. We even delve into how our winters have been and how they are changing moving forward into the future. And all those topics, once again, can be found several different locations to get it, and one of them is on our website. You can find the link there, WILX.com. We have the story, and we've also got it on our YouTube page for our station as well. And so if you did miss it and you weren't able to catch it, you can catch it there. Or if you'd like to wait for your regularly scheduled programming, we're going to be airing it in the evening and afternoon, I believe 5 p.m. on Christmas Day and then 4 p.m. on New Year's Day. And so if you plan to be watching TV 10 on those days, you can catch it there as well, half hour long. And again, we put a lot of really hard work into this so that we could talk to people in the community who are dealing with all of these different things so that they can share with you how you can stay prepared during the winter. We're very proud of the job that it came out being, and so hopefully you're able to enjoy that as well.
Yeah, our meteorologists not only spent their work days doing their typical work routine of getting the forecast, checking the models, putting out the information to everyone, but on top of their regular workload, they made sure that they could talk to the community members, put it together in a great piece. Again, you can find on YouTube or on our website, WILX.com. And so, Justin, with the weather that we are getting this weekend, I know that this segment will be airing again closer to Christmas and New Year's, but do you think people will need any of that information for this weekend?
Oh, I think at this point in the year, it's always helpful, of course, and especially headed towards the weekend. I think it would be great to brush up on some things, and that was no pun intended there. It's brush or scrape up, however you want to put it. But I think that, again, we probably, in all likelihood, will be dealing with some level of snow late in the weekend. Now, it could be an inch. It could be much more than an inch. Again, we're going to be fine-tuning those details throughout the week, but it certainly is good to know as far as getting yourself prepared for those systems. And so First Alert Winter Survival Guide will help you to be able to do that without any sort of issue there.
All right. Well, thank you, Justin. And again, you can always download the First Alert Weather app for more. Otherwise, you will see Justin again starting at 3 o'clock today for Studio 10.
Yes.
And that is in just under 40 minutes here, so make sure to tune in. But anything else you want to say before we see what else we have coming up
you
today.
won't want to miss a couple of different. We've got Take Me Home Tuesday, and you just heard Rochelle talk about all of that. We've got a fun little Forever Home friend today, so I wanted to throw that up quick. This is Cheese from the Jackson County Animal Shelter. He is looking for his forever home. If you enjoy this nice little adorable picture of Cheese or anybody along the like, and you're interested in adopting,
you can call him Cheddar Cheese.
Yeah, then if that brings some light to your day, makes you smile, what you should do is watch Studio 10 at 3 p.m. because we're going to be talking to some folks from the Capital Area Humane Society. They're going to talk to us about what kind of friends they've got who are up for adoption. They're going to have one with them live as they do every Take Me Home Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And you may have another opportunity to see Cheese on our programming this evening if you tune in here and watch us both at 3 p.m. and first at 4. So we hope to see you then. And we can keep on sharing these smiles around here on this otherwise gloomy December day.
I don't even want to come back out to us. I just want to show Cheese. Cheese is the star of the show.
Yeah, no, he's. I don't think he'll be available for long, and so certainly it's always nice to be able to bring home a pet. And we always have some good ones, but Cheese especially looking real nice and cute today.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Cheese might find it too cold to go outside with everything. So.
Yeah, no, I know, a little chilly outside, but still,
there you go.
Cuddle up inside. Best way to do, right?
One more time.
Yeah.
Look at Cheese.
For sure. There you go.
Oh.
And we'll leave you with that on this Tuesday out there. Take Me Home Tuesday.
All right. Hey, we'll take that.
And
that was
again,
a good update.
We'll hope to see you at 3. Yeah.
And with Studio 10, that will be followed by First at 4. So here's what you can expect today. And then followed by our 90 minutes of news. Starting with Mid-Michigan Matters, First at 4. We are talking about Lansing's tree planting program. And so getting trees, planting the trees in different neighborhoods throughout our communities, building up that tree equity, making sure, trees have a lot of great benefits. And they take that carbon dioxide from our air. They pump back out the oxygen, they provide shade, they soak up the water if there's any flooding. There's so many benefits to trees. If you have allergies like me, that might be a little challenging, but hey, learn more about Lansing's tree planting program, how you can have a part in that, and also learn more about how trees really do benefit our communities and what happens if there isn't tree equity surrounding the neighborhoods. Coming up, News 10 at 5, Michigan State football starts Big Ten play tonight when the Spartans host Wisconsin. So News 10 Sports' Joey Ellis will be live from the Breslin with all of the details. Coming up, News 10 at 5:30. The MSU School of Medicine, Veterinary Medicine, has announced the Bold Community Medicine program to bring services to the underserved rural communities. And then coming up, News 10 at 6, servers, bartenders, and more who earn tips at their jobs were pleading their case for the tipped wage system before the Michigan Supreme Court hears oral arguments. So all of that coming up today during First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Now, I also want to share one more thing before I send it out to our reporters. We also have our Toys for Tots drive. That is going until this Friday, December 8th. You can drop off new unwrapped toys to our WILX studios on South Lansing, or in South Lansing, during regular business hours, or you can donate to any of our sponsor locations as well. So drop off those new unwrapped toys, and those go to Adato Sales. You can go to Big John Steak and Onion, Mercantile Bank, Oddfellows Contracting, Vermeulen Furniture, and even Tommy's Express Car Wash. Those are just some of our sponsors where you can drop off those new unwrapped toys for our Toys for Tots drive. Also, that QR code, which will come back in just a second. If you don't feel like dropping off a toy and you instead would like it shipped to our studios, once that QR code comes back on your screen in just a few seconds here, bring out your phone, scan the QR code with your camera on your phone, and it'll pull up the Amazon Toys for Tots wish list. From there, you will select a toy off of the wish list. I was looking off there. There's toys for around $5, so we're not asking for much, but this is really going towards a great need and helping mid-Michigan families and children in our area put those smiles on their faces by just giving them a toy, something that brings us joy during the holidays. So again, scan that QR code. We'll have it run through here one more time in case you're interested. But if you would like more information, go to WILX.com, click on the hot button link, and you will be able to find more information. Again, we are looking for new unwrapped toys now through December 8th. That is when you can drop it off this Friday, December 8th, to any of our sponsor locations, or again to our WILX studios in South Lansing on American Road. Or again, just go scan that QR code and it will ship the toy to our studios. All you have to do is select it and purchase it off of the Amazon Toys for Tots wish list. But I do want to show another thing here at the desk in relation to Toys for Tots. You're seeing all of these toys out here in front of me, and throughout our newscast, we've been taking live looks into our News 10 donation center, where the donation center is just filled. There are mountains of toys piling up on top of the tables, the chairs. There is no room to walk in because there are so many toys. But there are also many, many children across mid-Michigan and many different ages, many different interests. So this is why we want to show you some of the many toys that we are accepting to give out to those children across mid-Michigan. Whether it's Jenga for the older kids, we're not just going for the young children who might be interested in the dolls, the stuffed animals. You even have some of these, if I can pull it, some of these little baby bath toys, it looks like. You have a starfish in there, you have a frog, a duck, a fish. So those are just some of the many toys that you can help drop off here. And you also have Connect 4 and a Harry Potter action figure. So again, not just for the young children, we're also looking for gifts for the teens and the tweens. But with winter here and all of that snow coming down, it's taking a pause for the rest of today. We will warm up like Justin said, and then we will get more of that snow and that rain happening over the weekend and beyond that. So with all of this changing weather, I do want to show you our You're Not Alone mental health series. Happening all year long here on News 10. We are gathering stories from the community who are voicing their own experiences behind emotional well-being, whether it's going through depression, anxiety, having suicidal thoughts, anything of the sort. We are hearing and sharing those stories from the community who are so gracious to be able to open up about that. But they're sharing it to know that you're not alone. So go ahead and scan that QR code if you're looking for more resources around the community, whether it's for you, someone that you may know or love, or maybe just someone random that you see along the street and you go, hey, I have resources you can reach out to. It has anything, any community, whether it's Ionia, Eaton, Ingham, Shiawassee, Lenawee, Jackson, any of those counties across Michigan and more, go scan that QR code. And you can also call and text the Lifeline chat. That number is 988. And if you are a veteran, once you call 988, you can press option number 1, and that will connect you directly to another veteran. So that way you can share your similar experiences. They know similarly to what you went through, and you're able to voice what you've been going through and be able to connect with someone else. So no matter what you're going through, again, seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression typically happens more around this time. We will have a doctor come in and talk about that on Mid-Michigan Matters later next week, and so you can make sure to tune in for that as well. But go scan that QR code. Again, all year long here on News 10, we are providing stories from the community to talk about mental health. So if you're one of those people, again, whether it's for you or someone else, make sure to go check out You're Not Alone. Until then, we have our reporters out in the field. I do want to show you what they have coming up today. So we're going to start, well, moving this chair over, we're going to start with Mars Anderson, who is coming up News 10 at 5:30.
Mars Anderson here inside the Greater Lansing Food Bank, one of 10 recipients of the Michigan Impact Grant. I'll have more on how that grant is serving the community in our 90 minutes of news.
All right, thank you, Mars. Yes, a very busy time for food banks as well, collecting all of that food for community members like we're doing for Toys for Tots. So tune in News 10 at 5:30 to hear more from Mars Anderson. We now have Deanna Giles, who is coming up News 10 at 6.
Thanks, Taylor. Michigan State Police are encouraging parents to check their school bus safety records. They say it's as easy as scanning a QR code. I'm Deanna Giles, and I spoke with one parent who shares why it's important, and I'll have details on News 10 at 6. Back to you, Taylor.
All right, thank you, Deanna. And last but not least, we have Aaron Bowling, who has a very interesting thing that could be coming to stores. And by could be, they're slowly coming to stores. And it's kind of futuristic, but we'll hear from Aaron.
Thanks, Taylor. Today I'm headed to East Lansing because for the first time ever in North America, select businesses will be allowing their customers to check out using their eyes and nothing but their eyes. I'll have how this works and what this means for the future of business in America on News 10 at 6. Back to you, Taylor.
All right, thank you, Aaron. That is very interesting. So you may have watched The Incredibles, a classic movie, but I was telling Aaron when she was telling me about her story, it's kind of like Edna when she goes into her little laboratory and then they scan her eye, she has to scan her fingerprints. But this, you would be paying with your eyeball, which is very interesting. So Erin's going to have more coming up today, News 10 at 6. She's going to be sharing where this is happening, taking place, how it's happening, and what you need to know about paying with your eyes. So we'll have more coming up, News 10 at 6. One more time, I'll pull up what we have coming up today during First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Until then, make sure you're tuning in to Studio 10. They're coming up in just under half an hour here, followed by First at 4, which is right after Studio 10. And then we have our 90 minutes of news. But I'm going to take one last look outside. We're going to get a live look at Mason right now, where Santa is ready to go over there. Looking pretty cool. But that snow, you don't see that snow coming down anymore. The roads look like they are drying out. But if you are out there on the roads, of course, be careful, especially heading into the later part of this week. But of course, you can always tune back in to News 10 online, on air, or you can also download the First Alert Weather app for more details. Until then, have a great Tuesday, everyone.